welcome to Rokk Around the Clock. Daily cloud gaming news live at the same time, Monday to Friday. But first, if you're new to the show, please subscribe and hit the bell. If you'd like to support the channel, why not hit the join button on the channel homepage and become a member of Team Rokk. What an idiot. I don't know why it was muted. What can I say? And I just told you the most amazing story, so I'll tell it to you again. We can always change it in the edit. I was just saying, I did something, I said something in a kind of a Muhammad Ali voice. And hopefully you can hear me now, guys. And the music, you're not hearing the music either, are you? This is quite weird. I have no idea why this has all kind of died. Let me get this going as well. Sorry about this, folk. Music. There it comes. Wow. I have no idea why that happened. We'll have to watch it in the next screens as well. Have I just frozen online? No, there's an ad. Why have I got an advert showing? Oh, I see. It's the... Guys, can you see me now? Okay. What an idiot. What an idiot that boy is, that Rokk fella. Right, let me just compose myself. Make sure everything's working. Just hit is good. Good. Right, try again, shall we? Let's have a quick chat. Let's have a quick chat with the chat. What we got going on here? We have got John Doe. John Doe is actually a test. Good to see you testing, John. Crow's in the house. Sure is quiet in here. Obviously, I'm going back over now. History. Bit of history in the making here, fellas. Michael, no audio. I'm glad I've sorted it, chaps, because it would be a bit of a boring show if you couldn't hear me, would it not? Thank you, everybody, for pointing it out. Let's go way beyond that. There's young David. David and the Bear. That should be a TV show, shouldn't it? He thought his phone was broken. There we are. Boom, there you go. Yes. Hi, Humble. Agnello Sgambado. How's it going, my friend? Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Buongiorno, signor. So, Good show today. I was telling you about the time I met Muhammad Ali, by the way, he was my hero, still is to a massive degree, because believe it or not, he reminded me of my dad. So my dad was a bit of a street fighter in his day. You know, he won't like me admitting it, but he was. He was a bit of a tough lad, came from a council estate, all that kind of stuff. Bit of a Robin Hood as well, looked after the weak and the poor, a bit like me. Anyway, by the by, he was very dark-skinned and had black curly hair, my dad. Not now. He's really pale and has white hair now. But I'm sure there's a little bit of African in him somewhere. He thinks the same thing. So we went to see a Frank Bruno fight, who was a bit of a he's a bit of a UK contender, but he fell at Tyson and never got back up again. And who should walk in to the arena than Muhammad Ali? And the whole crowd just stood up and, it was amazing. Hairs on the back of your neck. The man was an out-and-out hero. Hit that thumbs for Rokk. Thank you, my friend. Simply Porn, good to see you, dude. How are you? Bjorn's in the house. My OBS hates when I disconnect my USB hub. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I did update some stuff, some Windows stuff, so maybe it was that. But anyway. Oh, Ray's got his autograph. Yeah, man. I mean, just on every level, an amazing human being. Absolutely. Rock's dad was a Peaky Blinder. Well, he wasn't far from it, to be honest. He wasn't quite as bad as Tommy, leave him alone, lad. Next, we go hard, Cyborg. Good to see you guys. Good show today. We've got some news. The news is kind of warming up now. It was a bit difficult yesterday on Monday. I just couldn't find any half-decent news, but it's all starting to come in. And our very good friends, let's flick ourselves in a nice way over to Larry. And I'll probably have to adjust the audio, so give me 2 seconds, guys. If I go dead, I know it. No, I'm still here. That's cool. Music is going. Did you see I've tidied up the stinger as well? The stinger's slightly slower now. I had some feedback that it was way too fast, so I've halved the speed. I think it works really nicely. Quite pleased with it now. So here we are over at Larry. Oh no, look, I haven't even got Larry's set up properly here. What is going on, Lazar, my friend? We should pull that out there. You're getting to see all the magic that goes on behind the scenes here. It's quite embarrassing, actually. But it's all good. It doesn't really matter. So today, we're going to cover some news. And then I'm going to tell you about a really fantastic partnership that I've managed to sort out with NVIDIA Geforce. So we have got some Geforce Now primary accounts to give away. So I'll tell you more about that later. I'll also, if we've got time, and we'll make time, what are we here? 5:10. We've got time. I want to take you through the Geforce Now app. The one that you install on your PC, but it's pretty much the same experience if you have it on your Mac or if you have it in a browser or on your Shield and so on. So we'll have a look at that as well. We'll have a look at some games that have just gone. There's a load of Geforce Now news, guys, but that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Because largely your xCloud and your PlayStation, who are the other two big guys, they're kind of very formulaic about when they release their information, so you don't get lots of drips and drabs. Plus, Amazon Luna, they're quite tight-lipped. Boosteroid are tight-lipped as you could imagine. So I've got to play with what I can play with. So it's going to be a lot of Geforce Now, and we'll grab some other stuff as we go. Ray, I'm going to become a lunatic like you, says Nix, we go hard. Yeah, Ray's very much like me. He's kind of eclectic. He's not stuck with one platform, so you'll always find Ray. He'll be on one day, he'll be on Luna, next day he'll be doing some Xbox cloud gaming, other days he'll be on PlayStation and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's all good. Lo-Fi, how are you, my friend? Thank you for the love, dude. It's very kind of you. Good to see you. Right, so Geforce Now. This is Geforce Now Source, which is was and kind of still is the sister site to Stadia Source. Now, of course, we've never really covered anything off before with Geforce Now, and particularly with Geforce Now Source. So it's good. We can now. So top of the range, top of the headline news for these guys is that we have Ray is serving some stuff on a spoon. Don't be doing that, Ray. Bjorn, I'm feeling my thing will be on GeForce Now on PC, xCloud on mobile. That's an interesting idea. Trying to save up for a PC down the line. Yeah, that kind of makes some sense going down that way. It's Anthony, the cowboy, the epicest cowboy in the world. Of course you're allowed on, mate. I'd never fall out with you. Listen, as Chase used to say, it's just discourse, isn't it? It's healthy discourse. And anyway, my point wasn't, you can cover whatever content you want. That's all fine. It was just because it's kind of felt like you were saying, you know what, if you've been doing 100% Stadia content, is it right that you should just jump onto other platforms? And I think in my case, well, I would still be with Stadia today if Stadia had some news. My stuff, as you know, mate, is predominantly news-based, and I can't just sit here and say, no more Stadia news today. It's going to make for a very boring show. But as you know, same as yourself, same as Ray, same as others, same as John, we've never been wedded to only playing games on Stadia. We've just always said, and I've always said, it's just my favourite option with all the various different value adds that we had with Stadia and the fact that it was friction free. But it wasn't our choice to close it down, and I think it's an argument if people just upped and moved to another platform, and Stadia was still going strong, and they had been condemning that platform. I think it's fair to say, come on, guys, glass houses and stones. In my case, didn't have a lot of choice. And there's no point in doing an ongoing Stadia. I don't do game streams very often, and I do them. I'm going to do more of them, but I'm not I wouldn't personally say I was the best at it. I prefer to do a game where I'm not actually playing much and I just engage with the audience. That's what I love. I love chatting to the audience, and I love the audience chatting back. So I'll be doing that kind of stuff, but this is where I'm really at home. So that was more my point. It wasn't that, of course you can cover whatever content you want, dude. And I know that your thing is to be that kind of wrestling entrepreneur, the manager in the ring stirring up the fight and stuff. I get all that. Everybody knows it. But that was kind of felt like it was, aimed at me and people like me. So in great respect, because I have masses of time for you. I love what you do, and I'm coming on your show again soon anyway. I just felt that I should put across my immediate thoughts. But Paul Bayram, how are you, my friend? Paul's such a nice fella. You're such a nice fella, Paul. You really are. He's more likely to be a Peaky Blinder than my dad. Paul's from the land of Peaky Blinders. I gave Stadia my heart and she broke it. I know. We're finding more and more out all the time about what happened. And I think it's fair. Well, if you watch Rokk show last night, we talk about it in some detail. We'll probably cover it in even more detail on Rokk Players tomorrow. So, but yeah, it wasn't, as far as we can tell, it definitely had nothing to do with Stadia, the people working there or the management team. It was a decision made by the accountants within Alphabet and looking around at their various cost centres and where they could save a few quid. That's the problem with businesses. Just a real shame. Rokk, we love you. We love your personality, so I would personally watch anything you do. I know you would, my friend. I genuinely love what you do, and my favourite stuff of all is your vlog stuff. I love because you're such a personable, happy person. I love it when I see you with your family, because just a really happy family. I love that. And two, you get up to some amazing stuff, and you're not shy to go and shove your camera in people's faces and stuff. I love that. That's my favourite character. Wow, Peaky Blinders are incognito in Rokk's stream. Yeah, Paul's from that land. Fabled Alpaca, how are you, dude? Great to see so many of you. So let's have a quick look at the old Geforce Now Source. which is a little bit of a tongue twister. So there's some new games every Thursday on Geforce Now. They announce a chunk of games that have been ported to Geforce Now from Steam or Epic and sometimes other places like Ubisoft Plus or GOG. Largely Steam, in fairness. Well, I'm an ambassador for Geforce Now. I have been for a while. And, the deal was really simple. I would do an occasional game stream, and they uprated my existing primary account to 3080. No more than that. No pressure's ever been on me to say that it's the best system or the best service, or for me to do stuff when I don't want to, and I never did on my main channel, as you guys know. But it does mean that I get to see that stuff ahead of tomorrow when they officially announce it. It just happens, as has happened on the site here on GFN Source, that some of the games they're announcing tomorrow are already live on Geforce Now, which basically means you've got to buy them on Steam or Epic, and then once they've ported them to Geforce Now, you get to play them. It actually works quite nicely, and I'll kind of show you some of this stuff later, guys, because I want to run you through the Geforce Now interface. But first up, Dakar Desert Rally, which actually looks pretty good. Now, I do have somewhere, let me see if I can find it, unless I killed it off, I probably did. I think it's about £35, so I'm going to make a guess at about $39 to $40 stroke euros, but it does look really good. Single player, online multiplayer, different seasons, dynamic weather, authentic Dakar rally. If you're into your cars, then it looks really good. I'm not massively into car racing stuff. The other one is Lord of Rigel or Rigel, depending, let's face it, at the end of the day, these are all planet names, aren't they? So this is more of a strategy game, a space strategy game, which, might be your thing, but I'll have another quick look at that on Steam in a second. Marauders, out of the three of these, and there's many more coming tomorrow, by the way, these are just the ones that have gone live early on Geforce Now. Marauders looks pretty interesting. It is a shooter-looter, but it's multiplayer, so it's got kind of more of the Rainbow Six-ish to it, I think. Tactical first-person multiplayer shooter set in an alternative 1990s where the Great War never ended, which is like Wolfenstein, I guess, in that kind of a thing. Gritty diesel punk world, raid, loot, escape, tactical first-person combat, persistent gear and XP. They don't mention multiplayer here, but I checked it out because it most certainly is. Hey, Fabled, I've said hi to Phipps, that was the one. How are you, dude? Thanks for joining. Ray says, yep, my platform lists all Sony consoles, all Xbox consoles, all Nintendo consoles, PC, VR, GFN, Stadia, Luna, Retro, and Steam. There you go. Ray's got every conceivable angle covered, haven't you, mate? Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Phipps, Tangle Tower is such a fantastic game. I hope to get through it in time. This is one of the pro games on Stadia, right, from the weekend. You know, it's the only one I haven't opened yet. That's a good shout. I need to go back. I haven't played Hot Wheels and I haven't played Tangle Tower, but I really like the look of it. Thanks, Phipps. I'll check that out later. Nick says, thank you, Rokk, for all you've done for the Stadia community. Oh, bless you. I just wish that, it was still going. I mean, as I've said, it was not my choice to not be covering Stadia content. I mean, it's great that, it's great that we get an opportunity to talk about lots of different platforms because it will ultimately suit more people, I think. And some people massively into Xbox. Like Ray, I've pretty much got everything, although I don't have Nintendo consoles. I've ordered a Steam Deck. It might be here tomorrow, actually. That's the first kind of major handheld I've had since my PS Vita. But yeah, I've got Geforce Now, as you guys know. I just mentioned it. I've got Game Pass Ultimate on a Series X. I've got PlayStation Plus Premium, which runs on my PS5. And I've got a 3080 PC, which is what I'm running this on. Any news on Google Stadia refunds? Yeah, Alex. So the news as of yesterday was that they've started to process them. So I wouldn't be surprised if people start soon to see that they're getting the refund emails. They've said as well, anybody who has had their subscription renewed from the 1st of October, in fact, from the 29th of September. So from the date when they said it's over, anyone that got their subscription renewed will get their money back. So that's good news. There's still some debate over whether some people are going to get Google Play credits. But I think Stadia have heard that's not a particularly popular option. So they're looking at other things they can do. Also, quite a number of studios have said that they're looking at ways that you can continue playing on other platforms. So, I mean, predominantly, let's be honest, it's going to be Steam, because that's pretty much the only one where they have an option. But, you know, if you've got some, say, for example, Ubisoft, if you've bought Ubisoft games, so before Ubisoft Plus came out, which I subscribed to, I bought Division 2, I bought Breakpoint, I bought Odyssey, all on Stadia. And although they will continue under my Ubisoft Plus subscription, the point is those guys don't have cloud, they don't have saves that are part of Ubisoft Plus. So when I fire them up on Geforce Now, for example, which I can do, they work perfectly fine because it knows that I own them. The problem is there's no save points. So I'm hoping all that's going to get caught in the wash. Lots of people are saying, we'll cover some of this off in the bookmarks in a second because we've got a couple in there. But lots of studios are really keen to help. It's lovely to see. GFN are laid back. They just let you get on with what you want. They're a good bunch of guys. Look, I mean, I just said I'm an ambassador. I've been in their Discord for a while. Pre-3080, I can't remember when the 3080 came out, but I think I've been an ambassador for maybe a few months before then. So there's about 25 ambassadors, give or take, I think. But they are super, super nice guys. I mean, they are, I'm not going to give too much away because I don't want to talk out of shop, but they constantly engage all the time with the community. They're happy to talk privately. They're very approachable. They're keen to help people out as well. They're a really good model, I think, for a platform or a service that's looking to grow. And and they're not alone. I mean, I think Luna is very much the same for those people that have it and that engage with them. I don't know about Boosteroid. I've reached out to Boosteroid. I've asked if I can get put onto their marketing list, their PR list. And I've also asked if they can let me have an account so that we can do some, we can have a look at it together. And if they come back, because sometimes they don't, if they do and they're positive, then I'll also ask them for some codes so that we can do some giveaways and stuff as well. So that will be good. What have we got here? I haven't got very far through the news. What I was going to do, actually, guys, was flick over to Steam with you and just have a quickly look at those games. Also, worth pointing out, Next Fest is on at the moment, which is a Steam event where you can play hundreds of demos. It's largely, as it says, a celebration of upcoming games. It's from October the 3rd to October the 10th. Now, I can't promise you that any of these are on Geforce Now, but of course, if you have a Geforce Now account, you almost certainly have a Steam account. So it's worth having a look. And there are tons and tons and tons, all broken down into categories of demos that you can download and have a little play off, see what you think of them before they come out. Manor Lords, and some of them are pre-purchased, there's one, but a lot of them are free to play just to see what you think, so definitely worth a shot. And hopefully some of them will come very soon to cloud platforms as well. But anyway, going back to the head of Steam's page, I also wish they'd make their site responsive. I know I'm a bit of a web dev, so this stuff irks for me. but it's kind of like, you see when I stretch it out and it stays in the middle of the screen, it's just not responsive. Now, their argument would be, well, use our app. But, people have different sizes of screen, and I like stuff to spread out and get bigger and everything. It just feels so old school, fixed at that width. But, minor gripe, nothing to do with cloud gaming. So one of those games was Marauders. That's literally only launched. Let me zoom in for you fellas, if I can. There we go. Don't know who that chap is. They often have these live streams at the top of these games, so you can see someone play. I say live, they're usually they were live, and they usually show a pre-recorded VOD. But so this came out, where are we, the 5th? Came out 2 days ago. 77% of 944, so it's mostly positive, but you can see the kind of look of it here. It's got quite a stylish, as you say, Wolfenstein look. But yeah, you're kind of trying to find the loot, get to the loot, and then other people are there and they're defending it. It's that kind of a thing. So as I say, for me, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Rainbow Six, that kind of thing. I don't know how much there is to the game. There's a few different screenshots and stuff, but it's got 77% mostly positive reviews, which is pretty cool. And, in typical Steam tradition, it's not a bad price, about half of what you typically pay for a console game. And I couldn't tell you, but I doubt it's a AAA. It's kind of going to be in the mid-range, I would suggest. Thank you for that, Rokk. I personally like to advertise. Where are we? So here we go. I personally like to advertise because I hype up topics happen, and yes, I use terms to like that spark. I know. And 99% of the time, mate, I don't say a thing. I know you're doing your thing, and it works, and that's brilliant. And anyway, you don't. What's the word I'm looking for? You don't let people down. I mean, if you go and watch your content, it is usually really entertaining. I'm just not a massive bear baiter, and I know when I'm being baited, and I just let you get on with it. But in this case, and I rarely say anything, I thought I'll just put and I thought I did it very gracefully. Is that the word I'm looking for, mate? I try. I'm not doing. I wasn't coming at you. Just saying, we didn't have a lot of choice, did we? Where are we? Sir, Fans of Gamers, how are you, dude? Oh, Fans of Gamers has just become... Oh, no, don't move my laptop. Fans of Gamers has just become a member. Thank you so much, my friend. As has Al Davis Music, just before we went live. Al does the theme tune to Rokk Players, which is on tomorrow. More about it later. I'm super excited. It's looking really good. It's going to be a great show. Is that light annoying, by the way? I can change it tomorrow. I didn't mean for it to shine above the chair. But anyway, yeah, so thank you guys for joining. I think we're up to 50 members now, which quite honestly is mind-blowing. Wow. And we went past 1,770 subscribers today as well, which is woohoo! So I'm so pleased. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll quickly... Brian, how are you? 1,700 hours in Rainbow Six gone. Yeah, man. I know, I hear you. What can you do? That's Ubisoft, isn't it? I wonder, have you tried playing it on Ubisoft Plus elsewhere? Because a lot of the... because of Ubisoft Plus, which used to be Ubisoft Connect, a lot of the saves and the progress carries across if you play it elsewhere. It's worth getting a Geforce Now account for free and just testing it. I think you can play Ubisoft Plus with the free account. But stay tuned, because I'll be giving away some priority accounts this week. So definitely worth checking that out. Anywhere that Ubisoft Plus lives, including actually, just download it to a PC from Ubisoft and check that out. Check it out, man. Do you subscribe to Humble Bundle, Rokk? Yes, I do, but I tend to skip a lot of the months. For example, this month they have, what's it called? Deathloop, and I've already got it. So I didn't see the point in buying it again. So I tend to look at what's on offer and skip it. But yeah, it's great. They do some great stuff on there. I bought my daughter a set of graphic design books, because she's doing an MA in graphic design at uni at the moment. For, it was hundreds of dollars worth for like 20 quid or something. So yeah, it's really good. I try and, I do try and look at everything. Right, Winstar, good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Patrick, thank you for that question. Much appreciated. Miss Stadia, I know. Excited to play some games I've missed. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of options. How are you, William? Hope you're keeping well, my friend. Congrats. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much, mate. I keep wanting to move the chat box. It keeps wanting to go up in the air. Right, anyway, that was Marauders. We're slipping behind on the old time here. Dakar Rally quickly was the other one. This is Dakar Desert Rally. There is a Dakar Rally game as well. This one is £35 if you buy the basic edition, which, about $39-40. That's an average price for a game on Steam. Have to say, if you're into racing, this does look flipping good. But then again, can't be that hard to create the textures for a desert environment compared to all of the leaves and grass and jungles and stuff. But if Dakar's your thing, Dakar is there for you. The other one was Rigel, I think. Let's have a look. Rigel. There we are. Lord of Rigel. $16.99, so it's what I call pocket money, just over pocket money price. It's reduced to £1 right now, 10% off. It's a kind of strategy game. A lot of people love these. They're not really my thing, but lots of options to create settlements and characters and all that kind of thing across different planets. Let's see what it's getting. It's only had 6 reviews. It's only gone live yesterday. So it's too early to figure out if it's worth buying or not. But definitely, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Oh, as well as I tell you what, we've done that section. So we'll kick that in. Going to come over. I'm going to quickly talk about some Stadia stuff, believe it or not. And browser, you're showing your skirt. Come back here. There we go. Just quickly, before we run out of time, because I do want to skip across to the bookmarks. So I've got my hands on 3 priority Geforce Now priority subscriptions for 60 days, okay? So that's enough time for you guys to really evaluate it. And I would strongly recommend that you try it out at the priority or higher level, because although you can play it for free, you don't get long to play for free. The quality is not as good, even as of the priority. I think you can play with RTX on priority as well. So just bear that in mind. Okay, now I have 3 to give away. I'm going to give 1 away as per yesterday's Rokk show, which I forgot to mention. 1 for today's show and 1 for tomorrow's The Rokk Players, which is going to be brilliant, guys. We've now finalised the format, and I'm jumping about a bit. It'll all come back to the important stuff. The Rokk Players, if you watch the first series, there was 3 or 4 shows on the old channel. It was me, Bjorn and Stephen, and we kind of went through cloud news, and it was interesting. There were lots of discussions and stuff, but I wanted to really mix it up by bringing it now to this channel. So from tomorrow, it's going to be more of a panel. We've got Lee from Geforce Now Source, ex of Stadia Source, joining us as a guest. I'm hoping that we're going to also have Vet Cloud Gaming join us. I've put out some invites to a ton of people. So every week there's going to be me, Bjorn, and Stephen, plus 2, 3 or more guests. It's going to be a proper panel show. And it's going to be more like Cloudburst. If you remember Cloudburst, where we would have a big topic and we would debate that for the whole show. It's not going to be quite that. It's going to be more of a mix, but we are going to have 1, 2 or 3 topics that we'll talk about as a panel. It'll be a piece of cloud news from the week. Plus, we'll do game reviews, we'll do giveaways, and we'll do dev interviews. And we've got one lined up that Bjorn is interviewing soon. We'll get it on the show. We've got other studios that are keen to come on as well. Tomorrow, we'll have a priority Geforce Now membership, plus a copy of Deathloop for Steam as well. Today, there's going to be a priority, and I'm also going to throw in one of those 3 Steam games of your choice as well. So you just let me know which one of those you want, and that's going to be thrown in as well. So there'll be a priority membership for yesterday, priority membership for today, priority tomorrow, plus Deathloop, plus one of those Steam games. All you have to do is sub. And if you're already subscribed, sub to the co-hosts of those other 2 shows. Simple stuff. I'm going to be doing the old Wheel of Fortune on Friday. So we'll do it 3 times. We'll do it for yesterday's priority membership, today's priority membership plus one of those Steam games, and tomorrow's priority membership plus Deathloop. So you've got 3 chances to win. If you are a Team Rokk member, love you guys, you're already in the draw for all 3 of those. So you don't have to do a thing. You're already in the draw. So there you go. That's your chances. How can you play Geforce Now on TV? Well, Michael, there's several ways you can do it. One is if you've got one of the latest televisions, maybe the current or previous generation, you can download the app and it should play fine. It'll work on LG, it'll work on Samsung. I think that it works on Sony Bravia, and I think it works on the latest Philips TVs as well. I know there are a ton of rebranded names for all of those in the States, for example, and I can't cover them all because I don't know what they're called. But definitely you can download a Geforce Now app and you can run it on your TV. Or you can grab, if you've got your Chromecast with Google TV, that will also run Geforce Now really well. I've used it on there. If you've got an NVIDIA Shield Pro, the latest ones, that's perfect. They are by far the best way to do it. The quality is as high as it gets. On my TV, I can play 4K 60 frames per second from the Shield to my 4K 60 frames per second TV. So that's by far the best way of doing it. And also you can get a controller that comes with it as well. You can use any Bluetooth controller, works on any of those other devices. So you're all good to go. I tell you what, guys, I'm not going to cover this news. I'm going to cover this news tomorrow because you're in a mood to talk about Geforce Now. So why don't I switch right over to here? Here we go. Now we've lost the music, which is good because I can turn it off in my ears because it's lovely, but I don't need to hear it. Right. So here, my friends, is the Geforce Now Interface. This is actually the app, but it works in a browser on a PC or a Mac. It doesn't have to be browser only. So, it all works really nicely. Actually, guys, before we look at this, let me just quickly switch back. I think, let's go back quickly to this. Oh, I love that stinger. Let me just show you this quickly. So look, there are 3 versions of Geforce Now. This is a Reddit mega thread. So what we have is the free one, you only get 1 hour session. So I've seen a lot of people going, oh, it's crap, you can only play it for an hour. Well, it's free. What do you want? This costs them money. They're not making money from game sales, don't forget. They only make money from you paying to play the games via their cloud system. So they give you this as it's a test. That's all it is. 1 hour up to 1080 60, and you don't pay a thing for that. So you can restart it after an hour and go back in again, but it is a pain in the bum. Priority comes with RTX. You know what RTX is? It's ray tracing. It's super lighting. It's absolutely gorgeous. That one's fixed at 6 hours. Now, if you're playing for 6 hours, guys, honestly, without taking a break, you're going to lose the use of your legs. You've only got yourselves to blame. What can I tell you? The monthly cost, $9.99. 6 months, because you get a discount if you buy a 6 months subscription. So 6 months, let me zoom in as well. Sorry. How rude of me. It's probably about as big as it gets, to be honest. 6 months, $50. Okay, so you've saved, $10 by doing it that way. And quite honestly, 6 hours, It's not an issue. Restart after 6 hours. If you only have a 1080 monitor, or you tend to play on your Steam Deck, you can play Geforce Now on a Steam Deck or some other device like the new Logitech or any other handheld, then 1080 may be all that you need. The 1080 difference between the free and the priority is significant, guys. You will notice a difference. Let me put it out there. And of course, with RTX, ray tracing and everything else, it makes all the difference. Then it goes up to the 3080. Now, this is the premium account. This is really for people that are serious about their gaming, because as you can see here, one, you get an extra couple of hours. I've got to be honest. I've had the 3080 for months, and I have never, ever, ever had it cut out on me. Ever. It's never said, you've had your 8 hours, get out of here. And it's possibly because I've not played for a full 8 hours. It's also worth noting, with the free tier, you will go into a queue. So as well as only having an hour, you're going to get queued up for when there's a free available server for you to play on. And the problem really is, I think, is that, if you are trying it out, assessing it, and your experience is not as good graphically, you've got to go into a queuing system and you get kicked out over an hour, you're coming away without really getting the feel of the thing. So personally, I would prefer to give it, pay your $10 and give it a proper good go for a month. It's worth it. Or, if you're lucky, you'll win a priority account here as well. So 8 hours, and here's the amazing thing: up to 4K 60 or 1440 or 1600 DPI at 120 frames per second on a PC or a Mac. So the 1600 relates and refers to MacBooks. They have really weird, the whole kind of, what do they call it? The optical thing. I've forgotten what they call it now. It's a really weird resolution. But you can play on your MacBook Pro up to 120 frames per second. Or if you've got a PC with a PC monitor or a TV, 1440, which is amazing. And 4K 60 with HDR as well. Now, I've got to tell you, chaps, I have right here that I'm looking at right now a 4K monitor and a 1440 monitor, and I play most of my Geforce Now games on my television, which is a slightly older LG now. It's a C8, which is fixed at 4K 60. I play games on here. Sometimes I download them, and then sometimes I play them in the cloud on the 3080. I don't see a difference. They are butter smooth. I never get lag. I never get latency. They say, and I've no reason to doubt them, that the latency at the 3080 is better than that you encounter with your Xbox under the TV, which is mind-blowing. How the hell can that possibly be a thing? I don't see it. But they say it's the case. I've no reason to doubt them. And asterisks here because Founders is only available to existing Founders. So they had a Founders option where it was cheaper, but it doesn't really relate anymore. I had the Founders. I had the Founders priority. So I was paying the $4.99 rate, and now I have the 3080. So very quickly, do I always have to wait in a queue in order to play on GeForce? No, queues are mostly only for the free tier. I've never, ever come across a queue, even when I used to play on the priority tier, and I was happy with it, by the way. I never, ever was in a queue. It's mainly the free one. There have only been rare exceptions where paying members had to wait in a queue in times of outages, a huge game launch, that kind of thing. What do the session lengths even mean? Session lengths are the amount of time, it's a fairly short page, by the way. Session lengths are the amount of time that you can play a game until it's closed. You'll get a pop-up at 30, 15, 10 and 5 minute left at the top. I've never seen it. I've got to be honest. I know it's there, but I've never seen it. Where is Geforce Now supported? Geforce Now supported, obviously, in North America and Europe directly by NVIDIA. However, there are countries that are supported through local partners and have different pricing options than what's listed above. You can find a list of them on this piece. But for example, Brazil, I think, is one of those local partners. Australia and New Zealand they're doing really well. They've got something like 250,000 subscribers, and they pay some quite good prices as well. So check that out. Do I have to rebuy my games? No, No. To use GeForce Now, you log into your Steam, Ubisoft Connect to Epic Games Store, GOG, or any other existing store and play the games you already own. It's simple, really is simple. Does GeForce Now offer a family plan? It doesn't, sadly. I know that's something that a lot of people have been saying. You can try using Steam family sharing to share games, but this only allows for one user at a time to be sharing that library. In fairness, with Stadia, I think you could only ever have one person playing a specific game at a time. So that's not hugely different. Will I ever be charged for the GeForce Now free membership? No, but, it is what it is. Can you record your games? Yes, you can. In order to open up the overlay, yeah, if you've got a PC, there's an overlay. I think there is kind of with Shield, but it's not brilliant. Press Ctrl-G and you get all sorts of options. What games are supported? There's a list. Thousands is the honest answer. Do I have to log in every time? Now, this is something I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, it's rubbish because every time I go in, I have to log into Steam, I have to log into Ubisoft. They've really improved this now. I've never have to log into Steam again, ever. I did it once, that was it. It connects you in the app. We'll have a quick look at that in a second. Occasionally with Ubisoft Plus I do, but that's usually only when it's a new game. And what you do with Ubisoft is you go to the Ubisoft Plus website, you click to play the game. It says, do you want me to download it? You go, no. And then when you go back into GeForce Now and you find the game and play it, it's connected. It knew that you'd asked to connect that game. It does it all behind the scenes. You're away. So, I don't know if the problem people have been finding is with the free tier, and it may be that you have to reconnect with the free tier. I don't know. I just wish they'd do away with the free tier, honestly. I think it's not doing them any justices. Personally, what I'd rather see is that you can try out the other tiers. Maybe have a crack at 3080 for 14 days or something. Or, for a week. Bit like Stadia used to do. You could play premium for 30 days and then it would wind back to free unless you carried it on. I think that's the best way because people get to try out the quality version and then they can downgrade to priority rather than the not so great free one. But, that's their decision. How often are games added? Well, as we know, they're added every Thursday, 8 a.m. Central. So, but certainly by about, I think, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, European time. Can I play 4K on the web browser with RTX 3080? No, you can only play up to 1440 120. Yeah, you can. I think you can only do 4K. I've got a feeling this has changed recently, by the way. This mega thread is probably quite old. I'm fairly certain, and there's guys in the chat who may know this more than I do, because of course I've not needed. We'll have a look in a minute. We'll have a look in a second because we should be able to turn it on. But I'm fairly certain you can do 4K now in the browser. Yeah. Thank you, Lee, for Lee CGD Sims, who is also a Geforce Now ambassador. Lee is around if you want to ask any questions about it, by the way. 4K is in the browser now, both PC and I believe also Mac, Lee, if it's capable. So there you go, that was that. So if we now switch back to the doopy-doopy-doopy-doo gameplay screen with the slower stinger. So we're back here. I want to quickly show you fellas. So as you can see up in the top here, it says Rockstar, that's RTX 3080 account. So if we click on the menu and come to settings, I don't think I'm going to give anything away in here. I can quickly show you the settings. Now the key thing is, we were saying about having to keep logging into Steam and Ubisoft and all the rest of it. Now you can see up here, and I can't zoom in unfortunately because it's an app, but I've got here Ubisoft, Epic Games and Steam. They're all connected. Occasionally I come in and do a little resync, but there's not much need to. Actually tells me here, look, that I've got 37 Steam games in my Geforce Now account. I don't have masses of Steam games because funnily enough, until maybe a year ago, I wasn't really into PC gaming. So you can choose where your server's based. In my case, automatically chosen for the EU West. And then down here, you've got options you can do for your streaming quality. So you can do a balanced stream, adjust your streaming settings for a custom experience. So balanced will, kind of get the data down a bit for you, but give you the highest possible quality. You can do a data server. So if you're on a data cap plan, you can try and keep it right down. Competitive, which kind of throws the kitchen sink at it, maybe takes down some of the graphics because you're really high frame rate. I always go for custom because I max it out. So max bitrate, you can choose custom. I'm quite happy to ping mine right up as far as it goes. Resolution, you get a few choices. So here's your 2560 1440, but we've got 4K chosen here. That's what we're going to see in the browser. And it comes down 1080, 1600, 900 and so on. So, depending what you got, you can have it force VSync all the time, which I do. And you can even have it adjust for poor network conditions if you are in a situation where for some reason it drops. And it will just automatically shrink it all down on the fly. So it's pretty cool. You've also got, and this is again part and parcel of the whole RTX thing, and one of the great reasons, the bonuses with these guys having their own cards, but they have this AI enhanced option as well. So they will, in the background, they do a lot of calculations and algorithms, and they kind of boost the look of what you're getting. So if you went, for example, for the 1080 option or the 1440 option, you can use the AI enhanced to give you almost visually a 4K look. It just sharpens everything and makes it look really cool. In-game graphics settings, I turn this on. Just make sure that every time you go back in, it keeps the same settings as the last time. You can even click the Discord Rich Presence, which allows you to stream into Discord and kind of gives you a good experience. There's a few other little bits and bobs over here. Clipboard, so you can cut and paste between, if you had a password, for example, for Steam, and you've got it in a notepad file or LastPass or Bitwarden or whatever, you can copy it from there, go into the game and paste it. So it's really clever. It remembers the clipboard thing. There we go. And you can also use a gift card, which you will be doing if you win. But that's essentially the settings. You can also save pictures, the same as you used to be able to do with Stadia. So at any one point you can share these pictures with folk, have a look at them and stuff, do all your things. So you've got all that as well. And there can be videos as well as pictures, I believe. Well, this is all done by accident because I don't really do that stuff. And then, of course, your games. Now, the app that you will be using on your television and smart devices is slightly different. They have a bar down the left-hand side with kind of game genres and settings and things, whereas obviously this app doesn't have that. But what you do have, and let me just move my big head out of the way. Let me put me over there a second. So you can see here, there's links to my library. It's not a sideways scroller like your Stadia was. I'll show you in a second. You just click to go inside. So they have my library. That's all my games. They have the games featured on GFN Thursday, which is the blog released tomorrow with all the new games. So these are games they announced last Thursday that you can play. They've got an electronic arts section. They've got free demos, by the way, that you can play, instant play. So you can just log in and play any of those guys. You don't have to claim them or anything. All your free to plays, and you've literally got Fortnite, Genshin, Destiny, they're all in there. Games that specifically have RTX on, I own Steel Rising, so I'll show you that in a second. Featured games, and then some special offers as well. There's other things, Indie Spotlight, and then you've got all your other stuff down here, all your genres and so on. So if, for example, we click on See All in my library, then you see we're now into a more familiar kind of grid layout that you can select all the games, any game that you want to play. And I've got 155 in my library out of their 1,427. So it's comprehensive for sure. If we go back, I'll quickly show you Steel Rising. I should be able to fire this up. And this is just quickly shows you, so no mess. I haven't had to log back into Steam to play this. It's telling me that RTX is on. Let me just make sure I've got a controller here. This one plays with controller. I don't tend to bother too much with keyboard games, simply because I'd have to come in here and play them, and I love playing my stuff on my TV. Let me just grab me and pull me back over here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. There he is. Where's that fella? There he is. Pop him over there. Okay. I don't think I have sound on, which is fine. But let's go. Let me pick this up. Oh, I can't. Rokk, you're always in the way. I hope you're finding this interesting, because I know a few of you have never seen this. This music's lovely, by the way, but I'm glad I haven't got it on, because I'll get snapped for it, I'm sure. Right. Steel Rising's a great game, by the way. But if I take you to the options, bearing in mind we're playing this in a browser on my system, okay? So I want to show you the display. So this one says, whoops, where are we? 1440. Beep, 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 beep. Whoops. But I should be able to go to 4K. There we go. That's 4K, 60 hertz, and we'll save and quit. So this is literally 4K. And the great thing as well is, because you're playing PC games, you've got all that additional stuff that you don't get in consoles and Stadia, where you can beef up beef up the textures and things. I always love to go ultra. And do you know what? I get away with it most of the time with Geforce Now. The only game that's ever given me, I've had to play with it a bit, has been Resident Evil Village. But in the main, it looks amazing. Right, so let's get back to the game. We'll continue the game. Montmartre, it's a great game, this. Hey Ninja Guy, how are you, dude? What's happening today? Well, we kind of did some news, but then I wanted to announce the big giveaway for the week, which is 3 copies of NVIDIA Geforce Now Priority Membership. And I thought, while we're there, oh no, the hell did I land down there? Well, that was a bit rubbish. It puts you back. It's all good. Right, okay. So here she is. You are an automata, a mechanical robot, and your job is to run around. Now, bearing in mind, I'm streaming this at 1440, guys, but I can promise you it is 4K. Been there already, went there yesterday. So your job is to go around and destroy robots. There's a long kind of French Revolution story that's all part and parcel of the game. But you can see there's no lag, there's no latency. I may as well be streaming this from a PC. Obi, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Crow's in the house. And you saw how quick it was. There was no messing about with PC settings or having to log into Steam and all the other stuff that you've heard. There was no queue. It wasn't telling me that I've only got so many hours. I love it. Absolutely love it. The thing is, with all cloud platforms now, they're pretty much on a par. Here's a dude. We'll have a go at him. Here we go. So what you do in this game, if you ever get it, is you have to focus on, if you don't focus on the enemy, which I've just done with that diamond, you can do, you end up shooting stuff that you didn't mean to shoot, and then they get the better of you. But look at the graphics on this, the detail, it's stunning. If I go back here, I can shoot him with my blunderbuss. Where is he? Here he goes. That's one down. There's another one here. And when they die, like that, you pick up their essence, and that gives you stuff. But look at this. Let's go and have a look at the character. Here she is. You can try out all these different uniforms and outfits. All of them are configurable, and you can upgrade everything. There's the map around Paris. It's just a wonderful game. Ray, you'd love this game, my friend. This has got you all over it, this one. Really has. And also these amazing weapons. They're all completely unique, and they're all upgradable as well. They all do different stuff. They've all got different stats. I don't know how many hours of this game I've played. so far. Let's go to statistics and have a look. I played it for quite some time. Yeah, I can't see it in here, unless it's hidden down there. No, can't. I thought it told you. Great looking game. Right, guys, we're getting to the top of the hour, where I like to hand off to William. I think he's streaming today. Young Simply Pawned Gaming, as we now know him. Yeah, Ray, definitely one for you, mate. It should be dropping in price soon as well. I don't think it was very expensive, though. It's about $25, $30. But yeah, you run around Paris and different places. It's got some really unique gameplay mechanics as well. And if you play it at the kind of developer level, it's quite roguelike and very, very hard. I had to tone it down to play it. But there you go. Right. Let's just come out before he kills me. There is no Stadia button, sadly. There's no little button that you can press to hold down and come out of the game. Typically, you have to go, as you would any other game, to the quit menu. And then but Geforce takes over and takes you back to the interface, so you're not left hanging. And there we go. Straight away, within seconds, we're back in to Geforce Now. We can choose another game. So I hopefully that's given you an indication of how simple this is. But I know that a lot of folk have been saying it's rubbish, the quality's useless, and if you're doing the free version, 100%, it ain't going to work for you. That's all I'm saying. So let's go back up to... So here we go, back up to the welcome screen. Let's sit up a bit. There we go, that's better. Thank you so much, guys. Solstice, if you like, Steel Rising. Yeah, there's loads of them around. Thank you, Ray. Thank you so much, my friend. So many of you chit-chatting away. I'm sorry that I ignored you, but I didn't have a lot of time and I wanted to get through that little piece for you. So don't forget, subscribe to me if you aren't already subscribed. If you are subscribed, then make sure you subscribe to my co-hosts from the two shows on a Tuesday or a Thursday. Leave a message in one of the shows or any of the shows that you did subscribe to tell me that you've done it, because that's how I'm going to add you into the raffle. Okay, so leave a comment under either the Rokk show yesterday, the Rokk players tomorrow, or this Rokk around the clock, and then I will aggregate all of those names on Friday and we'll do the draw to win Deathloop, to win one of the Steam games released tomorrow on Geforce Now, and one of 3 copies of Geforce Now Priority Membership, where you can give it a proper road test. There we go, folks. We're done. I'm going to go and play with my new phone. I've got a new second-hand S20, which came today, and I think my Steam Deck's on the way tomorrow, so lots to play with. Guys, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for popping in. Please join the fellas tomorrow on the Rokk Players. It's going to be a fantastic show. As I've said, Lee is joining us, and also VetCloud Gaming, and I'm hoping possibly even some more folk as well. We love you, Rokk. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for being here for us. Bless you. Thank you for continuing to be with me, and hopefully you're going to get the same Rokk and the same quality output as you all enjoyed on Stadia. Bless you, bless you, bless you. New phone hype. I can't wait, mate. I'm so excited to have a little play with it. Guys, take care. I'll see you all tomorrow. This is it. This is me. I'm clocking out. And as I always like to say, clocking out because Rokk is out. Take care.